my brother is the coolest brother ever. Nope, sorry, I hear you saying you have a cool brother, but nope, sorry, mine's cooler. You wanna know why my brother is cooler than your brother? It's because my brother let me play his copy of Nintendo's Metroid Prime on the GameCube. Man, I had to be like 5 years old. I remember the main menu scaring me. Just check this out. The music is creepy, unsettling with all these industrial drums and crashes. A scratchy Geiger counter-esque effect plays, and that background, man, it's gross. But since my cool older brother played it, I, of course, had to as well, and come on, look at that gun change colors, that's so cool. Here's the thing about being a kid around that age. You're starting to want to prove yourself to other people. Do your own things. It begins with toddlers wanting to reach the high shelves without any help, and then kindergartners wanting to pack their own lunches and get on the school buses. And I was no different. I wanted to show the cool teenagers that I could play big kid games too, but whenever I had the chance, I never got too far. Too hard, too complicated, too scary sometimes. Of course, I don't remember letting that secret ever slip to the big kids. There's also something unique about growing up in a safe place. A household with a guardian or two, meals, lights, AC, that sort of thing. And for those fortunate enough to not know real world fear at this age, well, that's just it. They don't know fear. It's foreign. It's something these kids wouldn't have in their everyday lives, you know? If you can come home from school to a bowl of mac and cheese every day before going to play outside, there's nothing really to be afraid of. And at 5 years old, there wouldn't have been many things to experience, much less grow familiar with. So, when presented with a new opportunity, many young impressionable millennials and Gen Zs picked up their first copy of Goosebumps, or watched Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, and learned to be scared. Specifically, I'm talking about my favorite kind of fear, the macabre, the unsettling. The fear that makes you think a little harder about walking down the basement stairs, or if there's really something watching your back behind that old painting you had never thought much of before now. What if your childhood dog randomly barking at the corner meant he was seeing a ghost? Now these ideas are implanted. Your imagination has matured enough to think of your own horrors, and there's nothing scarier than what's waiting for you in your mind. And we as kids wanted to challenge that. We wanted to explore these new feelings that we don't have in our routine lives, and much like we read in books and saw in movies, we wanted to be brave. In 2004, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Horrified Children. And that's a good thing. Listen to the song. This is Prime 2's opening gambit. It's weird, right? Like, really weird. There are so many alien noises mixed into the shredding guitar riff. And that high synth playing the melody sounds so unfamiliar. It's not a normal instrument that you'd hear on the radio. It's catchy though, memorable. More atmosphere effects here, more alien things not of this earth, unfamiliar. And what about the choir? Who is this choir? It sounds like what as a kid we'd think of as religious or ancient. People don't sing like that on my parents' radio stations. We sing like that on church on Sundays. Oh, what have we gotten ourselves into? Oh man, this is my game? I'm allowed to play this? Alright, let's do it! I was probably in the realm of 7 to 9 years old when my parents got me this game for Christmas. This was my chance, I thought. Oh, I was so excited. My brother, see, he had the first game, but now I was old enough to have my own Metroid game. And I'm sure I wasn't alone in this demographic. It was time to prove myself with my own sci-fi adventure, something I couldn't quite get by going in the yard and role-playing with my friends. Little did we all know, Echoes was about to lay down the horror hammer, and it was not holding back. Let's walk through the opening sequence together. Mission file 02, 8 days ago, contact with Galactic Federation Trooper Squad Bravo contact was lost? Agreement. Locate Federation troopers and render assistance. Oh, something's gone wrong. Okay. Last transmission received from a rogue planet located in the Dasha region called Aether? Uploading last known coordinates now. Okay, see how they emphasize that these troopers have gone missing. The anxiety of the unknown is already getting subtly planted. Alright, we're scanning, we're looking around at this planet where these troopers... Oh, found it, okay. Okay. So what does this place look like? There's so much to take in, these horrible purple clouds corrupting the atmosphere and a grinding noise accompanying it. And this song. Listen, it sounds like a siren. And the choir is back. A horrible storm as you pierce the atmosphere. Dangerous to fly through. A rogue lightning strike takes your ship down, and we can only watch as it happens. Whew, made it, unharmed. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. We already made it through the hardest part. I'm sure everything's gonna be okay now. And land. Ah, we made it. And there she is, our heroine. And what an opening shot. Look how cool she is. Oh, she is armored up and ready to kick butt. A confident quadruple front flip into a hero's pose landing. Nice. I can take on anything. Throw the adventures at me. I'm ready to go. Wait, where's the bad guys? It's all just boxes. An oppressive, cramped cave with fog and... Oh, bodies? Dead bodies? Our standard E for everyone video games had us jumping straight into rescuing a princess, but holy crap, they're coming to life! Okay, let's try shooting, let's start shooting. Okay, shooting seems to work, that works fine. Who is this evil dark version of me? What are all these scary red spider monsters? This is horrifying, oh my god! There's something fantastic hidden here, however, and you probably didn't notice it. You're never in any actual danger. I mean, yes, you're playing a video game, of course, but we'll get to that later. Those trooper zombies you saw are really easy to defeat. It only takes a couple of shots, and that scary spider attack was all done in a cutscene, and you escaped out perfectly fine. See, Echoes was gently holding our hands the whole time, like walking through a haunted house. Another beautifully crafted design of this intro is that if you want more information, you've got to find it yourself. The ever-useful scan tool lets you learn about anything you like at your own pace. It can be the morphology of bad guys, plants in the natural environment, tons of stuff. Not to mention all these scientific diagrams make you feel really smart. Echo's introduction is the perfect way to build a young gamer's confidence in themselves, that they can take on some pretty scary things and come out victorious. It places a victory in the palm of your hands without you realizing it. There's this Disney TV show called Gravity Falls. In this show, a handful of kids and teens go on a grand adventure solving a conspiracy theory out in the middle of the Oregon woods. There's ghosts, zombies, demons, dinosaurs, secret codes, Illuminati references, the whole 9 yards of unnerving and spooky tropes that are fun to explore. It performed extremely well. It was a huge success, even though there is a scene where the magical bad guy pulls an entire set of deer teeth out of a living deer and then puts them back. Show creator Alex Hirsch was once asked how he was able to make a show for kids so scary and get away with it. He told interviewers that he just made a show for himself, something he'd watch as a fun-loving adult. See, Alex knew that kids don't want to be pandered to. They want to be big kids and solve their own mysteries, and Gravity Falls let them do that. They want to be brave. Two old American statistics I dug up on Google. A lot of children of baby boomers and Gen X's, the target audience of Echoes, grew up in pretty protected environments. Scary media gave us a chance to reach out of our comfort zones, to explore an entirely new set of emotions that a house with a white picket fence just couldn't give us. Look at the success of Goosebumps novels, right? Or not just that, ghost stories have been spooking kids for as long as we've been able to tell them. Lightweight scariness, just enough to raise the heart rate a bit and get you looking over your shoulder. But Echoes was something different. See, when you play a video game, okay, as opposed to movies and novels, you are in danger. It doesn't matter that it's not real and that it's all some pixels on a screen. At 7 years old, this was something unlike anything I had ever gone through. Immersive, first-person, fictional fear through the eyes of someone on an alien planet. Oh, and what a rush it was. Oh, I remember being so addicted to this game. I would be talking with my school friends about it, inviting them over to go and see it every weekend. It was awesome. Remember those Federation troopers we were supposed to rescue? As you might have imagined, they're not doing too well. And Nintendo holds no punches showing it to you. Give this a look, and reach back into your childhood mindscape. How would you have felt seeing this? Everyone's scared of bugs, right? And if you weren't before, you are now. You're a couple hours into the game by this point, and the only other sentient creature you've met is named Lumos, the last of his kind, for now. You've been completely by yourself. He tells you that the rest of his race, what's left of it, is asleep in cryostorage, hiding in the one place the Ing Hive hasn't gotten to yet, their temple. He tells you of the great war between the two, how the Ing warped and changed their planet until there was nothing left, and the Lumineth were forced to retreat. All of this. Think about what was just covered. Think about everything we've seen up until this point. Bugs, darkness, death, mutation, zombies, war, extinction, loneliness, abandonment, losing hope. All communicated to the kids in such a short and powerful amount of time. It's an introduction so expertly crafted that it sets up this world without question. It's your job to save them now. By yourself. With no help. Your own adventure to conquer. It's time to be brave. It's time to show these adults that you can do it. I think kids are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. My niece told me she didn't want to listen to Old Town Road because it had bad words in it, and she was 4. Kids will sneak up to their parents' door and listen in on their conversations. Popular toys are Lego building sets and mix and match dress-up dolls. They'll set up traps trying to catch Santa Claus, and in the mornings before, race around the house trying to see where Elf on the Shelf got to today. But you know what kind of happens because of that? It can be interpreted as, yeah, those silly kids, look how little they are, look how gullible. Gullible, okay maybe, but not dumb. They're inquisitive. They ask so many questions, and any parent knows the struggle of a kid asking a long series of why over and over again. They just want to know everything. Can't blame them for that. Look, a cousin of mine was less than 10 when he started identifying actual aircraft in the sky just from the silhouettes he knew in his plane books, and his sister just told me that she's programming with Python in middle school. They're capable of so much, and that's just why a lot of kids love scary things. You see, it's a challenge, and they love handling it all by themselves. I'm going to make a list now, and just see if any of these very obscure things ring any bells. Okay? Go. Scooby-Doo, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Hey Arnold, Harry Potter, The Animorphs, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Coraline, The Never-Ending Story, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Where the Wild Things Are, Spirited Away, Invader Zim, Over the Garden Wall, The Corpse Bride, Tales from the Crypt Keeper, Goosebumps, it's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. These are all mind-boggling, gobsmacking successes, and they're targeted specifically at the youngins. Here, let me put it in terms you boring adults will understand. If kids didn't have fun being scared, there wouldn't be a market for it. There's an old, derelict portal from the Ing War against the Lumineth. You turn it on, take a deep breath, and step into a dark, twisted cloud pulsing with a heartbeat of evil. You're face to face with the same storm that took down your ship. Dematerialize, and wait. You reappear in the exact same place you left, but it's so very wrong. The architecture mimics the safe place you were a moment ago, but the world around you is purple, and writhing alien growths have sprouted up from the ground. You reach out and realize the atmosphere here, outside of the light bubbles of safety, is harmful. Everything about this place wants to stop you from being here. This is dark aether. Much like how the Ing can twist and control living things, this is their version, the spider's version, of the world you've been adventuring in so far, grown and cultivated like a garden of horror, and you need to walk it, the valley of the shadow of death. Do you still think you can be brave? And look, this is reinforced with the gameplay. When you leave the light bubbles, your health degrades rapidly. It's scary. Nothing like this happens before you enter the portal, and those bugs, the ones that took down the entire ship of Federation Space Marines, yeah, they live here, and there's more of them. It isn't long before you're fighting for your life, look, firing volley after volley at these red-eyed monsters, and making sure to stay within the bubbles while doing so. Think about it, that's not easy to do, it's a lot to keep track of. And yet, in 2004, 7-year-olds all around the world were being brave, conquering their fears one step at a time, from one safety bubble to the next, sprinting through the toxic atmosphere between them. Kinda like real life, huh? Small breaks in your comfort zone builds you to be a stronger person, builds you to be more brave. And that brings me to my thesis here. In many places, fear can be instructional. It can teach you, we all know that. How many kids do you know have any amount of control over their lives? That's delegated to parents, teachers, daycares, bedtimes, etc. And as we now know as adults, not having control over things is scary. Child-friendly horror gives your kid a way to project their anxieties about the world into something tangible, something they can have a name and a face for, and in Echo's case, something to shoot, something to beat and overcome all by themselves. Emotions are good for us, all of them. When learning manners, we're told not to cry, not to scream, not to feel anything other than yes sir and no ma'am. But the bully waiting for you yet again tomorrow morning isn't going to stop if you ask them nicely. Your problems won't just go away if you're being polite. Problems need to be tackled head on and taken care of, even if you're scared. Much like Samus, sometimes you are the only person who can solve your own problems. And thanks to her help, I will never forget the day I walked into 4th grade and demanded my bully be moved to a different seat.